Hello, I wanted to make a quick public service announcement, PSA, on mold exposure because I just finished watching Jordan Peterson's almost 2 hour long podcast with two mold experts. And Dr. Shoemaker, and I can't remember the other doctor's name, but they are absolute experts in the field in terms of what happens to the human body when we are exposed to mold spore and mold spore fragments, how this impacts all of our systems, and then they're also experts in how to remediate the situation, assuming that it's a building that is subjecting you to the mold exposure. Um, and they're also experts in what's known as CIRS, chronic inflammatory response. I'm not sure what the syndrome, I think, uh, which can also result from mold exposure or other environmental biotoxin exposure. So just to kind of cut to the bottom line for folks, if you think you may have had mold exposure, the quickest, easiest, least expensive way to figure that out is to do what is called a visual contrast screening. I think that's what the S stands for. So it's called a VCS test, and it's on Dr. Shoemaker's site, which is called survivingmold, all one word, .com. But I've made a bit.ly link directly to where you can just go purchase the test. Now, the great thing about the test is you could do it like right now. It'll take you 15 minutes. And the test costs you just $15. You purchase it right on the site, and then you can complete the test also right on the site. And all it is you'll cover one eye and look at a little square on the screen, and there's a pattern on that square of stripes that are either vertical or slanted to the right or slanted to the left. And depending on your it's not so much your vision, it's, from what I understand, if you have mold exposure, that affects the accuracy. It affects your retina, which then in turn affects the accuracy of your vision in terms of, can you detect these very subtle differences in contrast, like between light and dark. So the stripes you're looking at might be really thick, they might be really thin. The difference in how dark and light they are might be very subtle, or it may be more extreme. So it's a very straightforward test that you can do for yourself right now. If you think you've had mold exposure, it's only $15. You can pay with your credit card right there on the site and figure this out in the next half hour. The second link I'm going to provide is to a place where you can order a little testing kit to swab your environment where you think there might be the mold spores. What this company does is they'll send you, it's basically just a Swiffer cloth in a plastic bag with the return environment to send it back to their lab. And clearly you're not paying for this kit, you're paying for the lab analysis. So after you collect dust samples in your home or workplace, you send this back to them, and I think it takes maybe 2 weeks for them to send you the results. But all in, including the return postage, it's about $165, and that is less expensive than hiring somebody to come to your home or your work site and collect air samples, which is another way to detect if there's mold in your environment. So this is far more cost effective. And this test is called a HERTSMI test. That's an acronym, HERTMSI. I can't tell you what those letters stand for, but essentially, once you send that in, they'll send you back a report where they're testing for the 5 main mold species that are the most common. So all in, for less than $200, you can kind of get not quite immediate, but fairly quick results in terms of whether you personally have had mold exposure, and 2 weeks later you can find out if there's actually any mold toxins in your home or in your workplace, wherever you swab. So the links again are bit. The quick links to purchase both those tests are I made 2 bit links. So to get the VCS test, it's bit.ly, B as in boy, IT as in Thomas, .ly, then / and then capital V as in Victor, C as in Charles, S as in Sam, _ test. Test is all lowercase. So it's a bit.ly / VCS _ test, which will take you right to the site so you can purchase the VCS test. The second link is to that swab kit that you can purchase and send back. So that is bit.ly / and then all caps HERTSMI, the number 2. So I'm spelling this out just in case folks are listening and not looking at the screen. But the reason I made those 2 bit links as kind of just quick shortcuts is there's quite a lot of information on the survivingmold.com website. And if you're kind of in a, I won't say panic, but if you're just have a sense of urgency and you just want to get these tests done like ASAP, then those two bit links will take you right there to just get tested and get started on your healing process. So, not a healthcare practitioner, but I am somebody who believes in efficiency. So I figured for those people who wanted access to both those purchases, I tried to make it easier for you so you didn't have to poke around, listen to a ton of podcasts, or spend too much time being aggravated trying to find these links. So hey, if you have any questions, again, I'm not a healthcare practitioner, so I can't really answer that, but I'd be happy to respond to questions. Or if you have comments and you want to share some advice, please go ahead and put it in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening.